In this video, we are going to analyze Facelift, a poem by Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath. She was one of the most dynamic and admired poets of the 20th century. She was born on October 27, 1932, in Boston, Massachusetts. She had a sad life. She attempted many times to kill herself and she ultimately committed suicide at the end. The way she killed herself was tragic. When her father died, she was 8 because of diabetes, but she never forgave him because she thought that he left her. She married and she had 2 children. Her husband left her and then she committed suicide. She has been to psychoanalysis many times, but apparently, she did not heal. So, she put her head in the oven chamber with the gas turned on until she died. She sealed or locked the rooms between her and her sleeping children with tape, towels and cloths, so the gas does not leak to the rooms of her children. Then in the morning, they found her dead. She committed suicide like Virginia Woolf. Now I am going to recite the poem and then analyze it. You bring me good news from the clinic, whipping off your silk scarf, exhibiting the tight white mummy cloths, smiling, I'm all right. When I was 9, a lime green anesthetist fed me banana gas through a frog mask. The nauseous vault boomed with bad dreams and the jovian voices of surgeons. Then mother swam up, holding a tin basin. Oh, I was sick. They've changed all that. Traveling nude as Cleopatra in my well-boiled hospital shift, fizzy with sedatives and unusually humorous. I roll to an anteroom where a kind man fists my fingers for me. He makes me feel something precious is leaking from the finger vents. At the count of 2, darkness wipes me out like chalk on a blackboard. I don't know a thing. For 5 days I lie in secret, tapped like a cask, the years draining into my pillow. Even my best friend thinks I'm in the country. Skin doesn't have roots. It peels away easy as paper. When I grin, the stitches tauten. I grow backward. I'm 20. Broody and in long skirts on my first husband's sofa, my fingers buried in the lamb's wool of the dead poodle. I hadn't a cat yet. Now she's done for. The dew-lapped lady I watched settle, line by line, in my mirror, old sock face, sagged on a darning egg. They've trapped her in some laboratory jar. Let her die there, or wither incessantly for the next 50 years, nodding and rocking and fingering her thin hair. Mother to myself, I wake swaddled in gauze, pink and smooth as a baby. Now let's analyze the poem. The voice in the poem is mixed up. The poet is choosing a fictional speaker, an imaginative persona. However, the poem is based on something that might happen to her since she was a child. So, the voice in the poet is a little bit confusing. Sometimes it is the poet herself because some of the information are mentioned in the poem, especially when she was a child. However, she is trying to confuse that with another voice. The poem title is Facelift. It is cosmetic surgery. We are not sure if the speaker is the poet herself, but we know for sure that she remembers something that might happen to her, especially when she was a child. You bring me good news from the clinic, whipping off your silk scarf, exhibiting the tight white mummy cloths, smiling, I'm all right. She talks about herself or the persona in the clinic. What happened there? She says good news, the surgery is successful. So, the surgery is successful. She is all right. She is okay. She is happy with the result. What happened to her skill? The surgery was successful and her skin is tight, white, and mummy cloths. One thing about this poem is that the poet is negating every happy feeling with a very sad feeling. As we said, Sylvia Plath tried to kill herself many and many times and eventually, she committed suicide in a very tragic way. She has been to psychoanalysis many times, but apparently she did not heal. She got married to Ted Hughes and then she had 2 children. And then he abandoned her. Then she went into the kitchen and put her head inside the oven chamber and the gas is open until the morning and they found her dead. She closed everything like the door, so that the gas does not leak to the rooms of her children. She says that she is smiling and this is all right. This is a good thing. However, she flashes back with memories about something when she was a child. She says, "When I was 9, a lime green anesthetist fed me banana gas through a frog mask." She remembers another kind of surgery. Anesthetist is the person who gives the drug. Lime green is the color of his clothes. You can sense the fairy tale language in her poem. She calls it the frog mask. It is like a fairy tale language. And she says banana gas. As we said, that she remembers something that happened to her when she was 9. The nauseous vault boomed with bad dreams and the Jovian voices of surgeons. In the beginning, she looked happy, and then she says, "Back then when I was 9, I had a similar experience, but it was pain." The word nauseous that she mentions here means dizziness. It is feeling dizzy, feeling as if she is sick. Boomed with bad dreams, so it was not very good feelings. And the Jovian voices of surgeons. Jovian is a Greek god and he is supposed to be something very good. So, she felt that the voices of the surgeons were godlike. So, she thought that they are larger-than-life figures. Now you can see that she is memorizing. This is the influence of her memory. Then Mother swam up, holding a tin basin. "Oh, I was sick." This is in a way a metaphor. She says that my mother rushed, ran and came quickly to help her. This could happen to her in her childhood. Now she comes back to present and talks about her new experience. She goes back to the present and she says the experience now is different. She says, "They've changed all that. It is not the frog mask. It is not the banana gas. It is something else. They've changed all that." Traveling nude as Cleopatra in my well-boiled hospital shift, on the surgery bed, when they push her, she feels like Cleopatra. Cleopatra is known for beauty. She is a sign of beauty. She feels that she is someone important. When they push her between rooms, from one room to another, she feels like she is Cleopatra. In my well-boiled hospital shift, the cloths of the hospital are well-boiled, they are sterile. So, everything seems perfect to her. Fizzy with sedatives and unusually humorous, she feels unconscious because of the sedatives. It is a good feeling when you try that. She feels it is humorous. So, everything was perfect to her. I roll to an anteroom where a kind man fists my fingers for me. He makes me feel something precious is leaking from the finger vents. Anteroom is a waiting room. She moves to the waiting room and there is a kind man who holds her hands. He is comforting her and sympathizing with her. He supports her. And she feels it is very precious moment. She thinks he did something tiny for her, however she feels it is precious. She said he makes me feel something precious is leaking and going between my fingers. At the count of 2, darkness wipes me out like chalk on a blackboard. I don't know a thing. She is counting 1 and 2 and then she is unconscious under the influence of the drug. She feels dizzy. She sleeps under the influence of the drug. She loses conscious. Darkness wipes me out like chalk on a blackboard. She wishes to forget. She wishes that her memory will be wiped off like a blackboard when it is wiped and then she is going to rewrite a new self. You sense that she believes that what happened is a rebirth or a new self. She believes that she is a different person after this surgery. Then she says, "I do not know a thing. It is like a rebirth." We know that this is not true. Even if you did a huge surgery, still you are the same person. However, she feels that she is rewriting herself, she is being reborn. She wants to forget her old self. She is continuing telling her story that she did not tell anybody about the surgery. She is in the hospital secretly. For 5 days I lie in secret, tapped like a cask, the years draining into my pillow. Cask is a big barrel. She says I am tapped like a cask. She is like a barrel and the years are draining into her pillow. All the experiences she went through, she feels that they are leaking or draining from her body, from her memory and from her brain. She feels like a cask full of liquid and it is being drained. She is losing everything in the past. Even my best friend thinks I'm in the country. Even her close friends do not know about her surgery. Then she talks about her wish to forget. Skin doesn't have roots. It peels away easy as paper. She talks about her wish to forget. Skin does not have roots, so you can change it. Then you have a simile when she says the skin peels away easy as paper. She feels that by scrubbing or peeling her skin, she becomes different person and she is someone else. And she is very happy, she is very satisfied. She is kind of rejoicing and celebrating. When I grin, the stitches tauten. I grow backward. I'm 20, broody and in long skirts on my first husband's sofa. When I grin means when she makes expressions with her face. She feels uncomfortable when she makes expressions with her face because stitches becomes tight and they makes uneasy feeling to her. This is the only negative thing about the surgery. It is the uneasy feeling when she grins. She says that she feels that she grows backward. I grow backward. This is a paradox because you usually grow older and grow forward. However, she feels she grows small and backward. She says, I am 20. She feels she is 20 years old. Not only the appearance, she also feels that inside, in her memory. She feels that she is in long skirt on her first husband's sofa. It is the early stage of her. We know that dead Hughes, a poet, cheated on her and he abandoned her. She feels that she is still his wife. By the way, she never got divorced. She committed suicide before she got divorced and she had the chance to publish 3 of her works. Then here she says it is her first husband. Therefore, we are not sure if she is talking about herself or talking about someone else. My fingers buried in the lamb's wool of the dead poodle. I hadn't a cat yet. Poodle is the Doge. It is dead. She is petting a pet animal and this dog is dead. This could signify the loss of happiness. She says I had not a cat yet. I have not occupied the place of this dog. So, the whole poem so far is I. Now she distances the old self from herself and then she refers to it as she. It is the old lady before she is doing the surgery. Now she's done for. The dewlap lady I watched settle, line by line, in my mirror. Apparently it is her reflection in the mirror. The person in the mirror is someone else. It is her old self, different from her. Dewlap, it is the fold of skin under the neck. She says I watched the surgery myself in my mirror. Now we know that she is talking about herself because she is watching herself in the mirror, but because it is her old self. She says she. It is another person. Old sock face, sagged on a darning egg. They've trapped her in some laboratory jar. Let her die there, or with her incessantly for the next 50 years. She is describing her old face. It is like a stock face and sagged on a darning egg. So, they took the old self and they trapped her in a laboratory jar. So, as if her old self is someone else and then she was trapped in a lab jar. And she says let her die and with her, I do not care. I do not care, just took her away. Nodding and rocking and fingering her thin hair, she says that the old self is doing nothing. She is scrubbed there, she plays with her hair and nods and rocks. She isolated her new self from her old self. Mother to myself, this is a paradox again. As we said, there is a rebirth. She feels that she is herself mother. She is the mother of herself because now she is a newborn lady. I wake swaddled in gauze, pink and smooth as a baby. What is the meaning of the word swaddled? When you swaddle a baby, it is wrapped. Swaddle means to wrap. So, she feels that she is a newborn lady. This is how she feels after surgery. We do not know if she is talking about herself as we said. It is a modern topic. What themes can we highlight in the poem? 1. The self-image. 2. Memory. Because she is confused, sometimes she is in present and all of a sudden she talks about something in the past. She wishes to forget and wipe off her memory the same way she peels her skin. 3. Time. She does not know what time is it and what age she is. 4. Identity. Because she feels she is a different person now after the surgery. This is the end of the poem analysis. I hope you got benefit from it. Please, do not forget to click notification bell, like, share, comment and subscribe my channel.